The U.S. in 2006 said that the Guyana government was compromised by Roger Khan. How do you respond to this? And the U.S., UK, Canada, and the EU had urged you not to appoint Henry Greene as police commissioner because he benefited from the proceeds of drug trafficking. But you still went ahead. Why?
Yeah, well, let me tell you, it's the same WikiLeaks that I just spoke about. So that the first one is an impression, no evidence. The second one, and I didn't want to respond to any WikiLeaks issue, but I wanted to respond to this one particularly, and maybe it's the only one I will respond to since you asked me. Now I'm giving one pass about the Henry Greene matter. We recognize that after the issue with the tape, Felix tape matter, you'd recall that he was on tape talking to a number of people, and in spite of his denial, I feel it was him. It was him on the tape, and any sane Guyanese would know it was him. And speaking to Basil Hines from the PNC, Basil Williams from the PNC, sorry. Basil Hines is someone who worked with me in state planning. Basil Williams from the PNC, and Williams saying, boy, you help us out on the Agricola thing. Still need to explain that. What was the Agricola thing? The Agricola thing was the massacre of a number of people. You recall that incident that we had in Agricola. Why would Williams say to Felix that you have helped us out? We need to still get to that. So Felix was departing. The U.S., not the ambassador, one of the persons who was here, I think the one who met with Roger Khan himself. I didn't meet with Roger Khan. He met with Roger Khan which came out subsequently in the court case, that they had meetings at the convention center, not the convention center, the Lord's Hotel. What's the one on the Lilendale? Ocean View. They met at Ocean View. I didn't know they were meeting with Roger Khan, the U.S. Embassy. This government never did. They came to me and said, we have information on Henry Greene, right? And we would not like you. He's been subject to investigation for the past 5 years. We've been watching him, and we'd not like you to appoint him commissioner. So I asked the gentleman from the U.S. government, but he is now crime chief. Did you not see it fit all of these years to come and tell me that my crime chief was involved in drug trafficking or whatever? They didn't tell me the nature of the investigation, but you had this information on the crime chief. It's only now that he is going to be elevated to be commissioner of police that you see it fit to tell me. Why didn't you tell us before? Why didn't you tell the head of the police force at that time so we could have gotten rid of him if you had all of this information? So I said, could you get more information? Can you give me the evidence? If you give me the evidence, show me the documents about the investigation and about his linkages, etc. I may consider the matter. So 2 weeks after, he came back with some other ambassadors. And I asked him, where is the information? And he said to me, they're not authorized to give me any information for the information. So I said to him, I was very angry. And I might have used some words that I'm not going to say here today. But I said to him, I'm the president of this country. You're coming to tell me not to appoint a citizen of this country because you had some investigation for 5 years that you were doing. You never told me in these 5 years that he may be involved. Now you're coming to tell me. And you're telling me that I must do this, take this action, to not appoint him based on your word that you are unprepared to give me further information. I said to him, basically leave my office to that extent. That unless you can bring me specific information about what you have, because if you've been investigating and you know this, then you should have evidence of it. Bring it to me, show it to me, and maybe I do that. I said to him, I think you were trying to influence my choice of commissioner of police. Maybe because he's not favorable to your interests. And other commissioners may have been favorable to your interests. Because often it's about who gives the most information to these foreign powers. They want to influence who becomes commissioner here. And you think we can do that in their countries? They would say, this is not your business. But they wanted me to take a leap of faith in their words and not appoint a citizen of this country. So I sent him off, nothing came from them, and I proceeded to appoint the gentleman. And I have strong faith in him. That is the one instance. I'm sure that perspective did not come out. I'm sure he didn't say exactly what I told him to. Maybe, I don't know if he put in the WikiLeaks the words I used. But you had some other ambassadors there. And maybe it's not expression because we have a lot of young people, listen, kids and stuff, wouldn't tell you. But I'm president of this country, and they come to me and tell me not to appoint a citizen of this country.